Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all. It is great to have you here as we kick off Season 4 and From the Depths. It's finally happening. So what are we going to be doing? Well, we're going to be running a custom campaign. And this changes so much in the game. It changes the terrain, the basic planet. Everything about it is different. It changes the lore. The factions are completely different. This campaign features 8 factions, and they are all new factions, all new ships and designs. I am really excited for it, and hopefully you all are looking forward to it as well. So let's go ahead and kick this baby off. Start a new game here. You can see we are in Terrus Asunder for our custom campaign. Now here's just a little bit of a basic goal for this campaign. I took this from the lore on the forums, and it essentially goes like this. As Terrus becomes an increasingly shattered planet, you, the player, must restore peace to Terrus with the ultimate cleansing of all the factions. Even those considered legendary among Zenmar and Terrus history are involved, so prepare for battle. Can you ultimately save Terrus from being torn asunder, or will you become just another part of the losses of war? That is a snippet of the lore that I took, but it gives us our goal. We have to cleanse Terrus of the factions. It's going to be freaking fantastic. So as far as the campaign options go, here's what we're doing. Difficulty modifier, we'll keep this at experienced. Enemy growth, we'll keep this also at experienced, so both of these at 1. The resource given by destroying an enemy. So, when you destroy an enemy, right now you get essentially 10% of those resources back. We're going to move this down to where experience starts, right here, 0.04. So we'll be getting about 4% of the resources back for ships. I believe that's what that means. And as far as enemy design difficulty goes, we're just going to keep this on regular designs. I don't want to move these too much because, this is our first time playing through in this campaign. Let's go ahead and kick it up. So here we are. All right, let's go ahead and get the interface off. So one thing I really dug about this campaign, the starting fortress is absolutely fantastic. There is no need to scrap this fortress like so many players do in the other, in the default campaign. It has a little bit of an inefficient fortress that you start with. I don't know if that's changed recently. We've been running Season 3 for a while, so I'm not sure if that's changed, but as far as forts go, this one is really great. And one of the things I loved was, first off, this bit right here. If we go ahead and bring our character down here, and you've got this little docking station you start with, and let's turn the interface back on. And you can actually press the U and the J keys to swivel this dock around. Now you will notice the radar dish in the background there is also tied to these controls. So for instance, when I spin it this way, the radar reverses its direction. Caught me off guard at first. I actually thought, oh, this is the weirdest radar. It spins left, it spins right. It really can't make up its mind. No, that's just because I was moving this docking station around. So we will be using this in just a little bit. Or part of this for spawning our ship in. I did build a ship for this. It's going to be awesome. We're finally going to be taking a look at it, but let's do this really quick. Let's take a look at the map. So here's the map, totally different. You can see here, this planet comprises of maybe 20% land, 80% water. So it is a very water-based planet, not a lot of land going around. You can see here this middle section, completely open. So the first thing I want to do, and I would recommend most players to do something like this. We've got this great radar dish. We've got 1,000 power down at the bottom right there, you can see, still available to us in the fortress. In fact, let me do one thing really quick here. Let's move our character back up to the control area of the fortress. And I love this inside here. You can see we've got some crystal growth farms, so we can get that crystal. And crystal's great for some of the more advanced components in the game, like healing tentacles and things like that. And here's our engine, a very nice vertical engine layout. Got our mainframe and our cards right here. They are decently protected, I would say. So here's what we will do. I'm going to try to lower the fortress down a little bit more and get us some more power. So let's see if we can do that. I'm going to hit the G key. You're going to see the fortress go down. We're getting a little bit more power, not much. In fact, we only got like 10 more power. All right, let's just raise this back up. So we won't get much from that. So let's do this then. We're going to expand on this radar. And we're going to make this just a little bit better so we can hopefully at least see, the first square or two of the first faction that we want to fight. So be very cognizant of your engine power when you do this. As you build height to your fortress, all of that is calculated into the amount of power that's needed to keep the fortress afloat and running. So you can see here, we're down to 600 power, 500 power. In fact, that's a little bit too low. We could go alter the engine, but we're going to go with a setup, I think, about like this. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and pop these strategic antennas on here to try and give ourselves just a little bit better visibility. And I build these really weird, so, judge me all you want, my friends. Now, I gotta watch out for the power. We're down to 200. Oh, this is looking really goofy. Let's remove some of these. And we'll move a couple dishes on the top here. I'm thinking maybe like 100 power. Okay, let's do something like that. You can see there, we really expanded that tower. Let's go look. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Everybody, please move. Yeah, look at that. Woo, way up there. So let's see if we got anything else uncovered. There we go. Look at that. So we probably quadrupled our visibility just by doing that. So here's the first faction we're going to be fighting. They're called the Vehement Seekers. And I have a little bit of lore. I just want to tell you guys about this. Just this little bit of lore really quick. If you're not interested in the lore, I'd say skip ahead maybe a minute and a half. And you won't have to go through with that. But here's the deal with the Vehement Seekers. First off, there's a couple terms you all should know about Terrus. And the first one's something called Ilara. Ilara is a magical flux that can be found essentially coursing through the planet. And when harvested and harnessed by the factions, it allows them the capability of causing astounding changes in mechanical and biological creations. Essentially, it is this flux that allows them to build these crazy different contraptions on this planet. The other term you should be aware of is something called the Yarzan. I couldn't actually glean too much about the Yarzan from the forums with the lore, but essentially they are some sort of mechanical society. So, as far as the Vehement Seekers go, here's a little bit of the lore. Originally a group of lost special renegades that looked to simply experiment with the powerful Ilara to create better space jets, the Vehement Seekers were one of the first factions to sustain heavy losses upon the war on Terrus. They lost their spacecraft to the valiant Hydras, which is a faction made from Zinmar's tribal Yarza, prior to the cataclysm that changed their warfare. With the group left in a poor place for resources, Victor Scars, the leader of the Vehement Seekers, adapted to the situation, using his ingenuity to utilize the resources at hand to assemble defenses. The Yarzan commanded Dark Angels, who are another faction in Terrus, seeing their struggle, formed an alliance for not only their own protection, but to help promote those with good intentions. However, the Vehement Seekers are out to survive above all, targeting anyone weak and easy to take from. They may be noble and respective to the Dark Angels, but they're not going to be nice to you, aka us. So, that's a little bit of the lore for the Vehement Seekers. As far as faction difficulty goes, they are one of the easiest factions in Terrus, which is good. They're kind of the equivalent of the Deepwater Guard in the default campaign, just to make you aware. So, here we are. We're ready to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and start spawning in a ship. So, I worked on a ship. I spent all day yesterday just reacclimating myself to the building mechanics of the game. And I will be honest, I forgot a lot. I really forgot a lot. There's so much complexity in this game. So please excuse the ugliness of the ship I'm about to show you all. Let's go ahead and get this baby spawning. I think this is the spawner. I was going for functionality over form, okay? Definitely keep that in mind. All right, where is it? What did I call it? I called it the Terrus. Okay, so it's called the SkyBird. Actually, let's take a look. How many resources do we have? All right, we have 70 crystal. How much crystal does the SkyBird require? Let me get back on this really quick here. The SkyBird requires, 610 crystal. Okay, so here's the deal. We don't have enough crystal to spawn this in yet. Here's what we're going to do. Oh, you start with, just one more thing. You start with this little, it's upside down, unfortunately. It's normally not like that, but it's a boat for spawning if you wish to use it. I, however, do not wish to use the build bot, so we're going to scrap this baby. We're going to get the resources for that. All right, so we got about 100 crystal from it. So what we're going to do, we're going to expand these crystal farms. We need much better crystal growth. So let's do that. We're going to go to resources here. Crystal farm. We want trays. We want to add trays to these babies. Let's see. Can I afford this many trays? I can. All right. Let's get this up. We're going to go all the way to the ceiling, and we'll do this on the opposite side as well. Okay, there we go. I think we are good. All right, so you can already see our crystal is now increasing. Down at the bottom, sort of middle, we have 182 crystal. So I'm going to pull our resources. You can see our crystal down here. We need like 600 something, so hopefully we don't get attacked while this happens. I didn't realize how much crystal my ship... Actually, you know what we can do? Hang on. Nope, okay. All right, well, I'll let this 10x until we have about 600 crystals, so we'll catch right back up here. Okay, so I need to modify the engine a bit. I had to build a few more crystal farms, and we're running out of power. The fortress, if a fortress runs out of power, you know, it will start to destroy itself. So what I'm doing is I'm just popping some more fuel tanks on these carburetors. We are up to 249 additional power to use, or power available in reserves, essentially. Let's see, can we pop a supercharger anywhere? We could pop one there, 329 and 346. All right, our power's getting up there. Let's see if we can do one more fuel tank somewhere. Let's see. Right here, maybe. There we go, 427. All right, we are way better off. You can see I put a couple more crystal farms right on the roof. I just ran out of options there. We weren't getting crystal very fast. So now we can start the spawning process. Let's go ahead and get our first ship in, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. We're going to get this baby rolling. Load the SkyBird at some point. Now, we could have built this the other way as well. You know, loading your ship out of play and getting another ship close that that has healing tentacles that can provide healing, which this fortress definitely does somewhere. I thought there were some. Yeah, here they are. Okay, they're like right here. Let's get our character a little bit closer so he can maybe start helping out. In fact, let's just jump over here. So this is the SkyBird. This is a ship I worked on. Let's see here if we can get this baby going. And we'll go over this really quick. It's been a while, you know, since I built a ship. This is it. This is the SkyBird. This is what we're going to be rolling with. This is a missile ship. Oh, she's taking off. See ya, SkyBird. Woo! Let's get this out of the fleet really quick. All right, been a while since I had to leave a ship from the fleet. Split them into forces. There we go. And then we will give this a good old fleet name. The Bird of Prey. Oh, no. Birds of Prey. Just in case we get more. Could I capitalize that R one more time, please? All right, there we go. SkyBird, here it is. Whee! All right, let's take control of this baby. Get her going. Here's the SkyBird. I'll get this flying in this direction, and we'll just real quickly take a look at this baby. All right, so this is the SkyBird. Essentially, it flies around, I think it max like 33 meters a second. Nothing amazing there. Here is the missile makeup on the bottom. We're using the ejector cylinders on these missiles to essentially eject them at a positive 90 elevation. This helps them get out from the bottom of the ship, of the jet, I guess, or plane, whatever you want to call it. And here's the makeup: one short-range thruster, 2 fins. I kept the fins at the back of the missile, less drag towards the back of the missile, I believe. That's what I noticed. We've got 4 fuel tanks, a camera, which is set to aim at random blocks, a 1-turn unit, 2 frag warheads with low cone angles, and an infrared seeker. Pretty simple, to be honest. And it took me ages. Every now and then this ship will shoot itself, so just keep that in mind. It's unfortunate. Now, the other thing that this ship has going for it, I did add missile warners. You can see we got some missile warning systems right here, and what these do, for those of you who don't know, these detect missiles, whenever they are within a sphere of detection of those warners. That is fed to this ACB, which is set to hostile missiles closer than X meters, and in this case it's 300 meters. So when the warners detect something, if they are closer or equal to 300 meters, then this automated control block fires, which sets off the weapon systems to fire that are within 4 blocks of this automated control block. And what that does, it essentially fires the flares in the front and the sides of the ship. It's decently effective. It's not too bad. So that's essentially the ship. Overall, the makeup, we're looking at 650 blocks, 86,000 RP, really cheap. So also dies really quick. Just keep that in mind. We'll have to see how this fares. We're just gonna build one of these, and I just want to take this straight over to this 3 square. I have no idea what to expect fighting these guys. I'm like so excited for this right now. Oh, and I gotta get a better icon. I'm definitely gonna have a better icon for the next episode. Let me show you. Wait a sec. Fortress destruction imminent. Why? I gave it tons of power. Anyways, let's look here. We've got our flag. Yeah, I need to change this flag. I definitely gotta get this thing changed. It's so freaking ugly. My God. Good news though, we're level 476, and we have mechanic practically maxed out. So our player flying in this ship is going to be a huge boon for us. The repair is going to be fantastic. So if we do get hit, hopefully our player in this will allow us to repair very quickly. So here we go. Let's start this up. Woo, I'm excited. The Vehement Seekers. What are we going to be dealing with? I have no idea. New factions, new ships. This is what I'm talking about. Force count 2, strength 3. We are dealing with a Gripe and a Malice. Look at this. I've never seen these before. Let's do it, baby. Begin the battle. Here we go. Real American heroes. SkyBird. All right, here's the SkyBird. Let's see. You know what would be great? This would be amazing. If you could see the distance of your ships to enemies. Like if I could mouse, like if I had a ship selected and I moused over an enemy, it would be sweet if it showed distance to selected ship, like right down in the tooltip there. Because, you know, this ship has a range of about 850 on the missiles, so I'd like to make sure I'm, you know, spawning it in at a correct distance. But I will start it kind of far out here, so we'll do that. And we're set to 20,000 blocks, that's the max. Let's do it. Heck. Here we go, ladies and gents. Let's get off the weapons. Let's go down here to these guys. Let's go interface off. Interface off, please. Ooh, look at this little guy. So, okay, here we go. We got our first attack coming down from the SkyBird. Remember, we have these warheads set to random blocks, so I noticed when I tested, so sometimes you can set your missiles to shoot at the center of mass, right, for a ship. Some ships are built amazingly well, like ships built in a V shape. The dead, you just got wrecked. The back part of the ship where the V, where there's nothing there, is kind of like calculated as the center of mass. And yeah, like I noticed a lot of my missiles missing on ships like that. So the random block was a good help in that case. Here comes the SkyBird. You can see those ejection barrels really helping. And here we go. Come on, baby, hit this guy. Please? There we go. This guy's a little rough. He doesn't fly very fast, but a very wonky flight pattern, you know, very hard to lock onto with missiles that aren't using target prediction or augmented predicted guidance. And the SkyBird has kind of a slow turn radius. It's not the best. But I was pretty happy with the overall capabilities of the SkyBird. It's really not that bad. And there we go. I mean, look at that. Done. Yeah, baby. There we go. Look at this. I can even take control of the SkyBird right here. Pull up, please. Oh, Jesus. Pull up. Oh, this is going to fly like right in front of us. SkyBird, living the dream. That sounded like a State Farm thing. State Farm Insurance. Take a huge dump. Yeah. All right. We won that battle. All right. Let's pull all. So, yeah, this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, we will stop this episode here. This is a good start, I think. We got to check out, some basic lore for what we're starting with here. So we have some goals. We know what our objectives are. We need to wipe everybody out. That's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go for a 100% clear in Terrus Asunder. That's what I think we will do. And we got to take a look at the fortress, see what it had to offer us. We got our first ship spawned in. Oh, so here's one more thing. I do want to build more, and hopefully I'll be able to build faster as I go forward, but I absolutely would still like to accept submissions. So I will have a limit, though. I'm taking small ships right now, for those of you who have them. And, I will say this, I will only take one ship from any person for a given amount of time. So, for instance, right now, I'm taking ships, I'll say up to 1,500 blocks. That's about as high as I'll take right now. So if you have a ship 1,500 blocks or below, feel free to submit it. I'll take a look at them, and if they're good, and I think they're not like crazy op, I don't want anything like crazy overpowered, then yeah, we'll definitely pull them into the campaign. But like I said, once you've submitted a ship, until I mention it again in another episode, I won't take another ship from you. This will help me keep my sanity. Hopefully that makes sense. I've been taking ships forever, and I just have a massive ship queue of huge ships. So once we get to other parts of the campaign, we can definitely dip into that queue. But yeah, if you have some ships you want to see used in this, I'm all for it. Again, it's not a guarantee that I will use your ship if you submit it. So just because I take your ship in, I will actually evaluate it and determine if it kind of fits for what the playstyle is that we're going for here. And another thing, as we see land units, we'll definitely be trying to take them over. For this first battle, I just thought we'd keep it easy. But yeah, for anything that's not flying, I definitely want to try to capture enemy ships. And we will supplement our own fleets with enemy ships. I think it'll be fun. We'll use community ships, captured ships, and I'll even throw in, I'm going to try to build maybe like a ship a week, maybe a ship every week or two. We'll see what time allows me to build. But I just want you all to know I'm definitely going to be getting back into building here. So, I don't know, it's going to be exciting. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this episode, definitely give it a thumbs up. Lets me know there's continued support and you guys are enjoying it. And I mean, I absolutely love that kind of thing. So, look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to leave those. I love that as well. And until then, hope you all have a great one. Take it easy and stay classy.